Alrighty, so last video was which was just me talking about tracks and why I like them. But this is the real deal. Some of these tracks I dislike, I don't like when they come up. Source that cam real quick. This one seems fun. I have animosity towards them. I think I said that wrong. This is the top 10 worst Mario Kart 8 tracks. The most terrible tracks, the most pearliest paths, the most repulsive. I'm gonna stop with the over-exaggerated intro. Time to go into the video. Here we go. That fit well. Also, these are ranked by number 1 as my least favorite, which is weird. Maybe number -10. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with it. Mario Circuit, not the Mario Kart Stadium track. They're two different things. But anyway, this track is like the tutorial for the tutorial track. Since Mario Kart Stadium is supposed to be the tutorial track in the game due to all the new mechanics, this is basically another one of those. I enjoyed this one better, wink wink, hint hint, due to the visuals. While I'm usually partial to stuff in Mario Kart Stadium like the night theme and the stadium theme itself, for some reason I enjoy the more summer theme of this track. And also, this is just my opinion, but it could literally be renamed Mushroom Stadium. But this track is just really boring at times, so that's why I made the list. Mario Circuit, Game Boy Advance. I guess Mario Circuit just have a tendency to be boring, which makes sense since it's the tutorial tracks in literally every game. It might also be because Luigi's by far the superior brother, but onto the track itself. Mario Circuit is a lot like the other Mario Circuit, kinda, but it's just a lot blander. Sure, it has some fun parts, but overall, a lot of it is just boring kart racing. I find it kinda weird that something from the Game Boy Advance days got reworked to have the hover wheels. This is not the only time, but I feel like this track would have fit really well without them changing it. But the hover wheel part does make it better, so I don't even know what I'm ranting about. Or why. Why am I doing this to Mario Circuit? Why do I exist? Why'd they add the hover wheel mechanic? Why? Now moving on to number 8. I despise this one. Swamp Ruins. It's so boring. It doesn't even fit into the other tracks. It's just kind of an outcast in the Mushroom Cup. Not saying it's the worst one in that cup, though. Just the layout of this track is so boring. The most fun part is deciding, will I go through the middle today, or go on the sides? Whoop-dee-doo! Doesn't that sound exhilarating? This whole track could be summed up by ground cave, water cave, fly, repeat. I wouldn't be surprised if this was one of the earlier tracks in the game made, since I feel like this stuff is placed more willy-nilly than all the others. Like it isn't even a ruin. Do ruins have futuristic technology that allow you to walk on walls? If you know a real one, I would love to visit. But just the way this track is designed is just, Literally every block here is just the mossy cobblestone bricks from Minecraft. Try and tell me they're not the same. Dolphin Shoals, number 7. Why is this here? I like this one. So why did I add it? Why don't I like this? What does shoals mean? Large number of fish swimming together, says Google. Are you ready for a simple fix to the title of this? Dolphin Shores. But onto the track itself. It's cool. So why is it here? Time for a terrible reason. I used to hate it. It used to be my least favorite track in the game. Then I played it more, and I started to like it. I feel how I used to feel about it makes me feel how I do about it now. I do really like the giant eel where you get to repeatedly bounce off his fins. He probably doesn't like it, but whatever. One quick question though, why is it called shoals? Based off the definition, which I said earlier, I'm not gonna say it again, but you aren't riding on the group of dolphins, so why wasn't it called Shores to begin with? It's 2 letters. Just change 2 letters. Number 6. Royal Raceway. Also known as Mario Circuit with a new skin bot for 200 V-Bucks. Here's what sucks about this track. I'm not certain that this was the name, but in Mario Kart 7 there was this really cool course. I'm pretty sure it was called Royal Raceway. And it was one of the best courses ever. You even went through the castle, which was dope. But this Royal Raceway is the biggest downgrade ever. Even worse than Subspace Emissary to World of Light. Worlds of Light is nothing compared to Subspace and Mystery. But back to the actual game that we're talking about. The course. For the course, they removed the castle. And the cool falling leaf part. It was literally Mario Circuit, which if either of the early ones are any info, I don't like. You go through a tunnel. Wow, you turn. Wow, you go fly onto the ground. Wow, you go and turn a couple more times. End of track. Wow. Now, to end this on a downgraded transition as well. Even worse than all my transitions suck. Number 5. Neil Bowser's City. Alright, I'll be honest. This is a lot better than in Mario Kart 7. Yeah, Mario Kart 7 being brought back again. I know this is Mario Kart 8, but I can hold grudges. In Neo Bowser's City, it was so easy to drift off and fall to your death. It was fixed in Mario Kart 8, but they could have done so much more with this track. It has so much potential. It's just a random track in the city. They could have made it so you go do tricks on roofs and go off roofs. You go through buildings. They could have even made another traffic-oriented track. But no, as you can see, there's so much potential. This is so much more boring than No Bias, Toad's Turnpike. Now, even more garbage tracks. Mario Kart Stadium, the face of the game, the main tutorial track, the first course you play. I don't like it. I feel like part of the reason I don't like this track is that my brother loves to play this track, and I find it so boring. I might have liked it when we first got the game, but now it sucks. It is basically just all the other Mario Kart tracks combined together, and the hover wheel mechanic is really boring. It's used in the exact same way in Mario Circuit. It's so boring, you just go up a hill, then go up the hill. I also usually like the night tracks in the game, because the lights that they use makes it pop out more, and you can see the details better because of this. But I don't know why, I just find this course so bland. Also, I know it's pretty late in the video at this point, but I don't hate any of these tracks. Except for these next 3. I hate them. Moo Moo Meadows, number 3. The one with cows. This thing suffers from the same thing as the other. It's so boring. And also, there's barely any visuals to look at, other than some grass and a farm. Other than that, it's a very boring layout. And I know I talked about older tracks having the other hover wheel mechanic, making them not as nostalgic, but this one only has the flying mechanic on a shortcut on a relatively boring map. This track could have used some really cool things. Maybe we could enter, or even go on top of the farm. Or you could go and have an actual farm instead of just random cows doing what they want in the middle of the road. Some of the main problems with all of these are just how boring the tracks are, or the concept. But for this one, it's both. Now let's move on. That was a terrible pun. Why did I do that? Bone Dry Dunes. This one is a desert. Deserts suck. I don't know if you've ever been in a desert, but they're not usually a place where you look at them and say, this looks like a good place for go-karting. There's the GameCube version of, I think it's called Dry Desert, but that's actually fun. The only thing keeping this from being number 1 is that it has an actually fun use of the hover wheel mechanic, where you go up a skeleton. Wait, that's kind of morbid for a kid's game. Wait, but aren't dry bones just dead Koopas? Anyway, moving on. I feel like this track was kind of a wasted spot for one where you jump off buildings. Again, I just think that's a cool idea. But before we move on to number 1, how about we have some honorable, dishonorable, how about unacceptable mentions? No, you know what? Let's move on to bad. The bad course that almost made the list is Donut Plains. It was actually originally on here, but then I played Moo Moo Meadows again, and that track sucks. Also, Mute City was originally on here, but then I played it again with my friends, and I'd say it'd probably be in my top 10 honorable mentions. The second terrible course is Baby Park. Yes, it's kind of a series staple for having the most laps, but you can't argue that going through a loop several times is really boring. The background visuals are nice, though. Cloud Top Cruise. I really suck at the first part, and I always fall off at the beginning and the end. At least it's original, though. Wild Woods. I just don't really like the beginning part of the level. The rest of the level's really good, though. Finally, SNES Rainbow Road. It's just really boring. I like the space visuals. Now on to number 1. Numero uno, the worst track in the game. Ice Outpost. This course sucks. You can easily fall off for the first part, and the first part is really boring. You only choose 2 separate paths that are pretty thin. So if you're in a group of at least 4 people on one, then at least one person is going to be pushed off into the watery abyss. Then after that really long part, like 2/3 of the track part, there's a little break. And then you just do a small flying part into the finish line, which is really boring. I feel like the only good part about this track is the visuals, while the actual track you ride on itself looks really mundane, mainly being only yellow and green little tracks and roads. The water looks nice, but that's really it. Ice Ace Outpost is the worst track in the game. I don't know if my opinion will change in the future, but I find this track to be really boring, and it's absolutely terrible. I hope you enjoyed me talking angrily about a kid's game. And that's about it. Toad's Turnpike is the best track. Don't argue with me.